Hey book besties, welcome to my September TBR. Today I'm going to be going through all the books I'm hoping to read in the month of September. And you guys, I am so excited for September to start because it'll be spring here in Australia. So the weather's going to be warming up, the flowers going to start blooming, and I am so here for it. I have quite a few books on my TBR this month, so I'm not even sure if I'm going to get through any of these. It's kind of a little ambitious, but we'll see how we go. I'm also excited because I will be participating in the Hello Autumn Spring Readathon happening later in September, and I am planning to do a reading vlog on that, so stay tuned for that. That will be up towards the end of September. But to kick off this TBR list, I will show you guys the two books I'm hoping to read for that readathon. So the first prompt we have is a book with a pastel cover. I have chosen The Match by Sarah Adams, which is a young adult romance, and it does have the single parent trope in it, so that sounds really fun. And what's really cool is the female main character actually works at this place called the Southern Service Paws, and she like matches people up with service dogs, which just sounds like such an interesting job. And she has to match the single dad's daughter with one of their service dogs, and it's their romance, and I am so excited for this book. It's also pretty short as well, so I think it's like less than 300 pages, so this is definitely perfect for a 48-hour readathon. The other book that I'm planning on reading for the readathon fits the book with new beginnings prompt, and that is A Cuban Girl's Guide to Tea and Tomorrow by Laura Taylor Namey. So freaking excited to read this book because, again, this is another book that has a beautiful cover on it. I'm absolutely obsessed. So this follows Lila Reyes. So she actually leaves her hometown in Miami for a summer in England, which was actually never a plan in the first place, but her mental health has just not been doing too well, so her parents send her off to England to kind of have a fresh start. And then she stumbles upon this cute little tea shop and falls in love with the tea shop clerk, and I've heard that this book is like very much cozy vibes as well, so I'm so excited to read it, and it definitely fits in with the new beginnings prompt since she is going over to spend the summer in England. And of course, September 1st will be back to Hogwarts Day, so I will be rereading Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, but I recently got the Mina Lima edition for my birthday, so I will be reading the Mina Lima edition of Philosopher's Stone, and I'm so excited because I haven't read the Mina Lima edition before, so I'm super keen to be having a new experience of Harry Potter. So yes, we'll definitely be reading this on September 1st. Now this was actually on my August TBR, but sadly I didn't get around to reading it in August, so I'm hoping to read it in September, and that is Twisted Love by Anna Huang, the first book in the Twisted series. This follows Alex and Ava. This is brother's best friend. I hate everyone in the world but you, and also I think it's Grumpy Sunshine as well. Yeah, it is Grumpy Sunshine too, and I think this is also in dual POV. I'm hoping it's in dual POV anyway, but I'm super excited to hopefully, actually no, I will definitely be reading this in September. Probably shouldn't say that in case I don't get around to it, but yeah, I do want to read Twisted Love in September. I also want to read Daisy Jones and the Six by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I read Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo earlier this year, absolutely freaking loved it, and Daisy Jones and the Six is set in the same world, and it follows this like rock band, and it's actually all like in dialogue, like fully in dialogue. So I've also downloaded the audiobook for this as well, so I'm hoping to listen to the audiobook as I read as well, just to really get in the mood. So I'm really hoping to get around to reading this one in September as well. Now I don't know if I'm going to read this in September, but I really want to because my friend Ali read it and she really enjoyed it, and that is Six Crimson Cranes by Elizabeth Lim. This book cover is absolutely freaking gorgeous. Love the pastel vibes. This is a YA fantasy. We follow this princess of Kyoto who has a secret, which is having forbidden magic running through her veins, and one morning on the day that she's meant to be getting the throne, she loses control of her magic, which is actually caused by her stepmother, who is also a sorceress, and she banishes the princess and turns her brothers into cranes and warns the princess that if she ever speaks of it to anyone, one of her brothers will die. It just sounds so freaking cool. It's about, I think, just over 400 pages. I'm not sure if I will read it in September, but I did want to include it in my September TBR just in case case I do get to it, because I really do want to read this before the end of the year. So hopefully September will be the month. If not, we'll hopefully be before the year ends. Then I've also got 4 library books which I will definitely get to reading in September. So the first one is Stepsister by Jennifer Donnelly. This one is really cool because we follow Cinderella's stepsister Isabel, and it's her story. So I am really intrigued to read it because technically she's like a villain and we're getting a villain story. So it's kind of cool. So it's kind of like a Disney reimagining, retelling situation. So I think that'll be super interesting. It's like over 500 pages though, but the chapters are really short, which I really love. I also have A Faux Love Story by Lone Lee. This book I am so freaking excited to read because it's enemies to lovers, kind of almost Romeo and Juliet sort of vibe. And the 2 love interests are part of 2 families who own Vietnamese restaurants, so they're competitors. So it's kind of like a forbidden romance that they have. So that sounds like really interesting. And also like food, it's gonna be food content in this book, and I don't know about you guys, but I love when books have some kind of food incorporated into it. Like food needs to be a love language, because if food was a love language, it would definitely be mine. So I'm very excited to read this. I love Vietnamese food. I also have Hot British Boyfriend by Christy Boyce. I actually don't really know anything about this book. What drew me in was the cover, because like it's a giant teacup and the 2 main characters are like standing on the teacup. I thought that was cute. I don't actually know what this is about, but it looks like it's about this girl named Ellie who goes on a study abroad trip to England, and she meets this guy named Will. Yeah, that's all I know, but it's a pretty short book. I believe this is YA as well. And last but not least, I'm really hoping to read Twice Shy by Sarah Hoggle. So this follows a girl named Mabel. Her fantasy life is like picture perfect. She runs a cozy coffee shop, has a man of her dream, but her real life is just full of painful disappointments. And then she inherits her great aunt's manor, and it's basically her chance to change everything. But when she arrives at the house, everything falls apart, and she has like a list of demands that she has to follow. And she finds out that she isn't the only inheritor. She actually has to share everything with this guy named Wesley, who is like this grumpy groundskeeper, but he's like also really handsome. So it looks like we have a little grumpy sunshine, opposites attract situation going on as well. I love Grumpy Sunshine, so I'm very excited to read this book. Oh, and this is actually the same author that wrote You Deserve Each Other, which I've seen is a very popular book on BookTok. I still haven't read that one yet. And this one's also a really short book as well. It's less than 300 pages, so yeah, that is my September TBR. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. Keep an eye out on my channel because I will be doing an August wrap up as well. We had a really good reading month in August, so hopefully that carries over in September as well. If you guys did enjoy watching, please give it a huge thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel down below. I post new videos every single week, and follow me on all my socials. I'll have them linked down below, along with my Goodreads and my Amazon wish list. And I will see you all in my next video. Bye!